Victor Willis, the legendary lead singer and founding member of Village People, passed away in June 2026 at the age of 74 after a short but aggressive illness, leaving behind a remarkable legacy in music performance, songwriting and artist rights. His life story is closely connected to the rise of disco culture, one of the most influential social and musical movements of the 20th century. Today we explore not only the life of Victor Willis but also the economic, social and cultural forces that shaped disco, its rise, its fall and its lasting impact on modern society. How did the economic crisis of the 1970s contribute to the birth of disco culture? The decline of manufacturing industries across major American cities created widespread unemployment, urban decay and economic uncertainty. Many factories closed and numerous industrial buildings were abandoned. At the same time, marginalized communities including Black, Latino, immigrant and LGBTQ populations searched for safe places to gather, celebrate and express themselves. Empty warehouses, lofts and community spaces became affordable venues where underground dance culture could flourish. These conditions helped create the environment that gave birth to disco. Why were abandoned urban spaces important to the development of underground dance communities? Traditional entertainment venues were often expensive, inaccessible or unwelcoming to many groups. Underground organizers transformed neglected buildings into vibrant social spaces. These locations offered freedom, creativity and a sense of belonging. They became cultural laboratories where music, dance, fashion and identity could evolve outside mainstream commercial pressures. Who was Victor Willis before joining Village People? Victor Willis was a talented singer, actor and performer who developed his skills through church music, theater and stage productions. His experience in musical theater gave him strong vocal abilities, stage presence and storytelling skills. Long before becoming a disco icon, he had already established himself as a professional performer capable of connecting deeply with audiences. How did Victor Willis help transform disco into a mainstream phenomenon? Victor Willis combined powerful vocals with theatrical performance. He understood how to bring larger-than-life characters to the stage while maintaining emotional authenticity. His voice became the defining sound of Village People, helping the group move from underground popularity to worldwide recognition. Why did disco become a symbol of escape during difficult economic times? Many people faced inflation, unemployment and uncertainty throughout the 1970s. Disco offered something different. It created an environment filled with optimism, energy and celebration. For a few hours on the dance floor, people could temporarily forget daily struggles and experience a sense of freedom, community and hope. How did Village People create one of the most recognizable identities in music history? The group used highly recognizable characters inspired by American archetypes, including construction workers, sailors, police officers, cowboys, and bikers. These images were instantly memorable and visually powerful. The concept allowed audiences around the world to identify with the group regardless of language or cultural differences. Why were blue-collar characters so appealing during the late 1970s? These characters represented strength, confidence, discipline, and traditional ideas of work at a time when many workers were experiencing economic insecurity. The imagery reminded audiences of familiar social roles while also transforming them into entertaining, larger-than-life symbols. What role did Victor Willis play within the Village People concept? Victor Willis served as the primary vocalist, songwriter and public face of the group. His performances gave credibility to the theatrical concept. He acted as the bridge between underground cultural influences and mainstream commercial entertainment, making the group accessible to millions of listeners. How did record companies turn disco into a global industry? As disco became profitable, record labels invested heavily in production, marketing, touring, and international distribution. The introduction of the 12-inch single allowed DJs to play extended dance versions of songs. Clubs, radio stations, and record companies worked together to create a highly efficient commercial system that spread disco across the world. What was the significance of the 12-inch single? The format provided better sound quality, longer playing time, and greater flexibility for DJs. It became one of the most important technological innovations in dance music, allowing songs to remain on dance floors for extended periods and helping create the modern club experience. How did disco affect urban neighborhoods? Successful nightlife districts attracted visitors. Businesses and investment areas that had previously been neglected became popular destinations. Although disco alone did not create gentrification, the growth of entertainment industries contributed to rising property values and urban redevelopment in certain locations. Did commercialization change the original spirit of disco? As disco grew, larger tensions emerged between creativity and profit. Early disco emphasized community experimentation and inclusion. Later, many record companies focused on formulas, marketing strategies, and rapid production schedules. This shift created debates about authenticity that continue in the music industry today. What caused the disco sucks movement? The backlash against disco had multiple causes. Some listeners disliked the musical style, others believed the industry had become oversaturated with repetitive content. Economic frustration, cultural tensions, and changing social attitudes also played important roles. The movement reflected broader anxieties occurring throughout society rather than simple musical preferences. Why is Disco Demolition Night considered historically important? The event became a symbol of the growing backlash against disco. Many historians view it as a cultural flashpoint that reflected concerns about economic change, shifting identities, and the transformation of popular culture. It represented a conflict between competing visions of American society during a period of significant transition. How did the decline of disco affect the music industry? As public enthusiasm cooled, investors and record labels reduced their commitment to disco. Many companies redirected resources toward rock, pop, and emerging genres. However, disco never truly disappeared. Its rhythms, production techniques, and dance culture continued evolving into house music, electronic dance music, and modern pop. How did Victor Willis influence artist rights and ownership? After years of legal battles, Victor Willis successfully regained ownership interests in several songs he helped create. His victories demonstrated that artists could challenge traditional industry structures and reclaim control over their work. These legal achievements later inspired many musicians seeking fair compensation and greater ownership of intellectual property. Why are Victor Willis' legal victories still relevant today? Modern artists face challenges involving streaming royalties, digital distribution, and content ownership. The principles established through Willis' legal efforts continue to influence discussions about creator rights, transparency, and long-term control of artistic works. How do modern independent dance communities resemble the original disco movement? Many contemporary scenes rely on independent organizers, local communities, alternative venues, and direct audience engagement. Just as early disco emerged outside traditional power structures, modern creators often use digital platforms and grassroots networks to build audiences without relying entirely on large corporations. What can the history of disco teach us about society? Music often reflects economic conditions, social tensions, technological changes, and cultural aspirations. The rise of disco demonstrated how creativity can emerge from hardship, while its decline showed how commercial success can sometimes alter the original purpose of a movement. Studying disco helps us understand broader patterns of social and economic change. What is the lasting legacy of Victor Willis? Victor Willis leaves behind a legacy that extends beyond music. He helped define one of the most influential eras in popular culture, inspired generations of performers, and contributed to important legal victories for artists. His work continues to influence dance music, entertainment, and discussions about creative ownership around the world. Finally, the story of Victor Willis is more than the story of a singer. It is the story of cultural transformation, economic change, artistic innovation, and the enduring power of music. From abandoned warehouses to global stadiums, from underground communities to international fame, his journey reflects the remarkable history of disco and its lasting influence on modern society. His voice, his creativity, and his determination will continue to inspire future generations. If you enjoyed this educational video, please share this video with your friends, like the video, and subscribe to the channel for more detailed stories about music history, cultural movements, and influential personalities from around the world. Thank you for watching.